Hi guys, or ladies, I should say. Thank you for joining us for this little what is coaching wine Zoom Q&A kind of thing. We super appreciate you guys being here. If you have a glass, raise it up and cheers. Cheers to all of us. If you don't have a glass, then cheers your hands. That's cool too. We just want to thank you for hopping on with us and honoring us with your time and letting us share our passion with you. All the coaches on this, we all have this huge passion, this huge drive to just pay this business forward. You know, one of my favorite things that that my mentor put in a post once upon a time was that, you know, this business is a gift and it's meant to be given away. And I truly believe that. I feel blessed every single day that I get to wake up and that this is my job, and that I get to be a stay-at-home mom, but I also get to have something that fulfills me and gives me a passion and a purpose. And speaking of purpose, I just want to, again, thank you guys who are hopping on to learn about this. If you're here for a reason, you guys. Somebody invited you because they saw something in you. They saw a potential. They saw something in you that would shine bright like a light, and that you would have something to offer other people. Everybody's something that they have to offer is a little bit different, but just know that you're here for a reason. You're meant to hear this message, and that, you know, we're all just in this together and to share our passion with you guys. And to kick it off, you get to hear my story. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I got started with Beachbody. I've been a coach for, I hit my year and a half in November. I am a 2-star diamond coach, which means absolutely nothing to any of you guys who don't know about Beachbody or ranks or anything like that. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah, like I said, I've been coaching for about a year and a half. I started off with my health and fitness journey, and I started it in April of 2014, I guess. I never struggled with my weight at all through anything. My oldest son is 11, and even after I had him, I always joke and I say I walked out of the hospital wearing the same pants that I wore like before I got pregnant. And I just never struggled with my weight. Like, I just always was naturally thin. I wasn't necessarily healthy, but I was thin. And then I married my husband right before I turned 30, and we had our first son together when I was 30, almost 31, and then I had my daughter when I was 32. And after that, they always say the magic number is 30 and your body changes, right? Yes, it's true. And then throw having babies in there and it's like doubly true. So all of a sudden I find myself at 32 years old, and I now have this weight problem. And even further than that, my mother is, she's obese. And I always heard her growing up saying things like, well, I'm unhappy because I'm overweight. And then she would also say like, well, I'm overweight because I had my kids so close together. And when you correlate the two, you kind of get a message saying, I'm unhappy because of my weight, so I'm unhappy because of you. And so that was my biggest fear in putting on weight. I was like, I didn't want to be my mom because she's very unhappy and she continues to not lose the weight because then what's she going to blame her unhappiness on? So I didn't want that to be me. I never wanted my kids to feel like I felt that my mother's happiness was dependent on me and what I did to her body just by being born. And so I was like, I've got to do something. And so I told my husband, I said, hey, there's this program I keep seeing on TV, you know, this T25 program. It's that guy who did Insanity. Like, would you get that for me? And his answer was flat out no. He's like, you have a bundle of workout DVDs underneath the couch or underneath the TV stand. He's like, and you never even do them. He's like, do those, and then we can talk about another program. And I was like, oh, well, that's fair. You know, like I had all these other workout videos and I wasn't doing them. So about 3 days later, he actually sent me a screenshot and he had ordered T25 online. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I had this like total like dichotomy of emotions where I was like, oh yes, he got it. Yay. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do that because he already pointed out that I don't do my workout DVDs. So now I'm going to have to actually do this. So it came and we did it. And we started doing it together. And I took my before pictures and I hid them. I hid them really deep in my email, just in case. Not that my husband goes and creeps in my email, you know, but in case he happened to be in there or saw it or something, I didn't want him to see what I look like. I had made it a point to not let him see me in that regard. I got dressed in the bathroom I didn't let him come in the bathroom if I was showering. I changed before, away from him. Like if he came in the bedroom and I happened to be changing, like I did like the duck and cover, like behind the bed, and I made sure I had something that could hide me. And, it was just, I was not in a good place. I lost my confidence. I lost who I was. And, I always say when I'm sharing my story is that, I wasn't the woman that my husband married. And I don't mean that I didn't fit in my wedding dress any longer. I mean, like having that weight on me really changed so many things about me. It changed, like I said, it changed my confidence. It changed my outlook on things. I'm a very social person. I think you guys, we've been chatting before we got started tonight. Like I'm very outgoing. I like to, just kind of like shout. I'm loud. I'm, all of these things. And I just wasn't like that anymore. I really wasn't. I was very quiet and reserved. And you can see, I have tattoos. I have like awesome hair. And, but I grew out my hair and I wasn't dyeing it, and I just let it just be like this straight haircut, and I wasn't even keeping that haircut cute, I always wore sweaters because I didn't want my tattoos to show, because I didn't want to stand out at all. I didn't want anything about me to be memorable, and I didn't want anything about me to make me stand out or draw attention to myself. So we did the program, and we were 5 weeks in. T25 has 2 rounds, an alpha and a beta round, and each are 5 weeks. And after my first 5 weeks, I pulled out my pictures that I had hidden in my email, and I compared the pictures, and I just started crying. I just started crying these big, ugly tears, just like of accomplishment. I was seeing my body transform. I was showing up for myself every single day. I was eating right. I was working out, and I was just elated. And I saw those pictures, and I knew the girl who lived across the street at the time. She was a Beachbody coach. And I was like, this is a funny side story that I like to tell when I share my story also, is she had actually asked me, because she knew I was doing T25, and she had asked me if I would be willing to hop on a web chat similar to this, but it wasn't one where we interacted. It was just like hey, can you watch this video live of my coach? She's going to talk about coaching. And I was like, she's like, we're doing this raffle or something. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I'm nice. And I like this girl. But what I did is I literally put it on mute, and I went like this. And I watched TV. I did not listen to a single word that she said. I just was like, well, I don't know how they can't see me. But I wanted it to be running. I was like, they're going to be able to figure this out somehow. So as long as I'm a number on there, this girl will get credit, right? That's my thinking. So that was my first introduction to coaching, you guys, like just facing the computer to the wall, not paying attention at all. I was like, that's not for me. I don't do that. I don't sell things. I don't, that's not me. So anyways, I saw my results. I ugly cried all over the place. And I ran into her actually it was like Kismet. I was going to ask her about coaching, and I ran into her at the gas station that same day. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm not hiding from this. And I was like, will you come over and talk to me about coaching? So she came over and talked to me about it. And I had started a group with some of my friends who were also doing T25. And when I told her that, she was just like, oh my gosh, you're being a coach basically, and you're not getting paid for it. You're supporting other women. You guys are going on your journey together, and you guys are getting results, and you're being successful. Like, she's like, that's what we do as coaches. It's that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's that simple. You find people, you invite them to join you on your journey, and you just help them through it. And I was like, wow. All right. And I literally signed up that night. About 3 days into my training, I saw the big picture. I saw everything that coaching has to offer. Coaching is twofold. You get to help people on their health and fitness journey, and you get to help women change their lives as far as like starting a business, well, men too, if you like those guys, whatever. You get to help them, start a business and things like that. And right about that time of those 5-week pictures, I asked my husband, I showed him my pictures, but I asked him, I remember asking him, I said, do you see a difference in me? Like I said, you see me every single day. I know in this picture we see results, but like, do you see a difference in me every day? He's like, do you know where I see the difference? And I said, what? And he goes, you smile more now. I'm not going to cry. He said, you smile more now. And what this gave to me is it gave me my confidence back, and I felt like I could be more me. Like I stopped wearing those sweaters, and I cut my hair fun again, and I found a group of women to support me and help me continue to come out of my shell. I always cry on these. I always say I'm not going to cry, and I always cry on these. And it's just given me so much. Like, it's given me so much financially. It's given me so much personally. I can't talk enough about how much it's given me personally and how much it's changed my life 100%. Not just health-wise, but I'm back to who I am, but I'm actually a better version of myself. You know, I always use this example too, and then I'm going to shut up. You know, people are, I see people all the time on Facebook, and they're saying how negative I see people all the time saying, like, I'm going to quit Facebook. Facebook is too negative. Everybody's complaining. Everybody's drama. Everybody's this. And I'm like, who are you friends with? Like, I'm on my scroll and I'm just like seeing positivity. I'm seeing dreamers. I'm seeing visionaries. I'm seeing all these people who are lifting each other up. I can't tell you how many times a day, literally how many times a day, people comment on my stuff or write me personally and tell me how positive I am and how inspirational I am. And I'm just like, good, then I'm doing my job. I'm bringing light into this world. I'm being positive in somebody's life. And that is so important in a world so full of negativity. Something as little as somebody brightening your day. I have this girl, she follows my business page, and I friend requested her and said, you know, I wrote her and I said, thank you so much for accepting my friend request. You're always so positive on my business page. I just wanted to return the favor and get to know you like you get to know me. And she wrote me back and she's like, you have no idea how much this means to me. I follow you because sometimes I just need to hear the amazing positive things that you say. And I was like, you don't get used to hearing those things, you guys. You don't get used to hearing the impact that you're having on people's lives. She may never, ever sign up as a coach. She may never, ever sign up as a challenger. But the fact that she knows that she can come to my page and come to me and find inspiration on her rough days, like, that is a game changer. Like, that is life-changing stuff, to know that we have that impact on other people. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, that's going to wrap up my story. So here I am a year and a half later, and I am still in love with the business just as much as on day 3 when I found out what exactly was possible with this business. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Lorelei, and I'm going to ask her if she can share a little bit about her story with us and what some of her fears were going into it. And before she was a coach and stuff, she's got a really amazing story about how she got started and how she was actually trying her damnedest to not become a coach. And then how all of that has changed now. So I'm going to mute myself, and you can go ahead, Lorelei.
Thank you. Thanks for getting me all misty-eyed before I have to talk. Jeez. So my story is...
Oh, what's wrong with me? I always cry.
I know, and every time you're like, I'm not going to cry. I'm like, oh, here it comes.
I know. It's like, I say it, I think it's going to stop myself, but it actually always perpetuates it. So I just need to just let it go.
So my story started, my coach, she initially invited me to go out to dinner with her. I was a photographer. Photography was my main job. I had my own business. We were in DC. And she invited me to go out to dinner with her to talk about doing some before and after transformation photos for her challenge group. Now, about a week before this happened, I was talking to one of my business mentors, and she told me, Lori, you have got to stop stopping yourself before you even get started. And what she meant was all these opportunities were coming my way as a business owner. And someone would ask me, hey, would you like to participate in this? And I would think, and I would give myself what are the excuses that could get me out of this? Like, how many things can I come up with that can prevent me from being in a public situation where people could judge me and where it's severely outside of my comfort zone? So she said, Lori, I'm going to challenge you. For 1 month, you're not going to say no. I mean, yes, say no if it doesn't work for your family, but you're not going to say no to a business opportunity out of anything based on fear. And I was like, okay, this is huge. Like, maybe I should not be on Facebook if you're challenging me to this, because this is way outside my comfort zone. And guys, I don't believe in coincidence. I feel like God puts certain people in our path at the exact time we need them. And he put Sue in my path week 1, and week 2, he put Andrea in my path. And Andrea changed my whole life. So I met up with her at this bar way outside my comfort zone. And as soon as I get there, I am just so drawn to this energy she brings. She has this life in her eyes that I'm like, what are you drinking? Can I get this sparkle? Because I don't have that. And I remember telling her at one point that I was an introvert. And she laughed this hearty laugh at me. And she was like, no, you are not an introvert. She said, I see you as I talk to you. I see as you talk to me, you're sitting taller and you're feeling more confident. that's not an introvert. That is an extrovert. And she actually told me that the reason I was feeling so drawn in and secluded is because I was living the life of an introvert as an extrovert. And just like you heard from Jenni, she was hiding herself and preventing social situations when in reality, that's where she flourishes. So she invited me to do these challenge photos. And I said, you know, what if I go through the group with them just so that they're comfortable with me when we get to the photos? And then I remember saying, is it okay if I'm a challenger too? She's like, all right. So I actually went through, it was actually at that time a 60-day challenge that we went through the whole group together, and we formed this bond. It's like this sisterhood where you just feel the other person's journey is intertwined with your own. So when they start falling off, you're like, everyone comes together like, no, we're not falling off here. Here we go. We're on this together. And through my 60 days, it's so funny because my journey started as wanting to lose weight. And in the first week, we do this thing called Healing Week, where we really address the mindset issues. And it was, what are you most afraid of? And she's like, you can't give me a petty little answer. You have to dig deep. And when you think you have your answer, you have to ask yourself why again. And that's when I realized I had this insane fear of people, just people. I was changing my life situation. I was becoming an introvert for people. I was parenting for other people. I remember being at the playground and my son was, or daughter, son, one of my kids was playing in the sandbox, and another mom came in and her child went to go pick up the shovel, and she's like, no, you can't get dirty. I immediately removed my child from the sandbox because I'm like, oh, good moms don't let their kids get dirty. We need to remedy the situation. What if she thinks I'm a filthy mother? You know, like, it's that bad. I was parenting for other people, and that's not okay because it resulted in children that had no idea what is expected of them. So when I realized that people had control over my parenting, I was like, oh, no, this is changing. So my 60-day journey became a journey of finding myself, of stepping outside into the light, allowing people to see me. And I should share with you guys, but my after photos that I did was actually like me in a public place with cleavage. That was big. That was really big for me to show cleavage because that's like, I don't know, showing a bit of myself. Anyway, so, you know, through that journey, I kept referring people to Andrea to buy Beachbody products because I just loved it so much. I loved the way I felt with Shakeology. I loved the way my skin felt. I loved the way that my hair was growing out. I just loved how the workouts made me feel confident because I was overcoming these barriers in my mind. And eventually Andrea told me, she's like, no, I'm not accepting another referral from you because you will be a coach. Okay, Andrea. Usually when Andrea says something, you do it. So I became a coach and I thought, okay, whatever, I'll sign on and I'll get the discount for the products I love, but that's it. And the very first message I got that said, you made a difference to me, I was hooked. Like, that was it for me. I have been in love with coaching since. I have been absolutely in love with the idea that I'm making a difference in other people's lives. So fear has been a big thing for me. I never thought that I would join a business that had anything to do with sales because, in all honesty, with my photography business, that was the biggest thing that held me back. As soon as we would get to sales, I would almost like talk people out of spending their money on me. So I was like, good luck, Andrea. You will have a basket case on your hands. But I found out that when you are truly in love with the process, that it's not sales. That's not what this is. And so as part of this, I kind of want to explain to you guys what we do as coaches. So as coaches, we have aligned with the Beachbody company. We have the fitness programs. We have nutrition guidelines, like nutrition plans to help them figure out the whole nine. And we also have our challenge groups that we run where we hold the accountability. We have the one-on-one, the messaging. So our job is to be a product of the product. We're working on our bodies. We're working on our mental game. We're focusing on our health. Our families are getting healthier. That is the core of it all. But then on top of that, we have this amazing opportunity to be messaging with people one-on-one. Sometimes people are so alone in the world and they have no one there looking out for them, and we get to be that person. I don't know about you guys, but like, I start shaking and I get goosebumps thinking about the fact that I could save someone that truly needs it and there's no one there for them. That for me is what this is all about. So as coaches, we are always working on we call it PD, our personal development. We're always sharpening our minds and finding a way to help these people in a real way. Yes, we talk about products and things with that, but that is just the very tip of the iceberg. What we do with these people is we give them a family, we give them a community, we give them accountability and one-on-one support to make the right choices. When I started my health journey a long time ago, I did it the wrong way. I overexercised my body and undernourished it. And because of that, I have a permanent cardiovascular condition that actually gives me exercise intolerance. So I have a hard time exercising, but I push through it for other people. So I want to be the person that prevents someone from making themselves sick by going on their health journey in an unhealthy way. I mean, I did pills, I did all kinds of weird, crazy things. So as coaches, we get to do that. We get to be a product of a product, and we get to help people on the back end, really being that person they can lean on. On top of that, we also have the opportunity to help other women make a ripple effective change. So we get to help them create their own business, help other people. You figure you can, you know, the whole, you can give a man a fish and you give him dinner, but you teach a man to fish and you give him meals for his life, right? I'm totally butchering the quote, but you guys get what I'm saying. So,
what if I don't eat fish?
Shh. Go back to hot dogs. So we have this opportunity to not only help people change their own health, but they get to change it permanently for their whole life, and they get to help other people do that too. And it's a generational change. You see children get healthier by the things that we're doing to support other people. So Beachbody is the very tip of the iceberg, the part that sticks out of the water, the post that they see, and everything else is where the magic happens. And I feel so truly passionate about that. I feel like we are saving lives in a very, very real way. I'm sorry. Okay, so next, Mindy. Are you up? Can you hear me? Okay. So what was your life like before Beachbody, and how has coaching changed it?
All right. Well, I am a fast talker, and so if I need to slow down, sorry, I will try to breathe while I speak. So my story is a little bit different, right when I found Beachbody. But for the years before, why this fit into my life is I've always struggled with my weight. I was never extremely overweight until I got married. But I had really self-lack and love for myself. I have that outgoing, extroverted personality, and I've always had the I don't give a F kind of mentality. But inside, I'd be like, my boobs are too small. I'm the bigger sister. I was with the same boyfriend all through high school because I was too afraid to put myself out there and actually whatnot. But through college is when I pretty much didn't eat much. I drank and I partaked in partying really hard and diet, all those crazy things to be cool and to be fit or thin. It wasn't even fit in the early 2090s. It was to be thin. And so I always struggled this with my whole life. And once I finally, a couple years before Beachbody, I realized that it truly was. I walked 60 miles for breast cancer. This is pre my mom passing away. She was just diagnosed with it. But if I told myself if I could walk 60 miles, I could lose 30 pounds. I was 35 pounds overweight with a 30 BMI, which is overweight. So what happened is that's when I made the change in my life, and I realized that I just needed to watch what I put in, and it was healthy food in, healthy food out. I continued to try crazy things, but what worked for me was clean eating, which is what led me to why when I saw this opportunity. I had never heard of Beachbody ever. I actually bought P90X with my sister in 2006, but I just gave her the $150 and she bought the $300 program for my brother when he graduated college. So I had no idea that this was out there. And so I had finally started to eat clean. I was at a healthy weight. People were noticing, sorry that my thing's going off, but people were noticing that like, oh my gosh, you're so great. You look so great. But I was skinny fat. I wasn't strong. I had a full-time job. I had been a retail store manager for 12 years. I went back to retail in 2003, technically 2001, but then full-time in 2003. And that is where I spent from then until 2013. It will be 2014 and then February when I got laid off. But the reason why I stayed there, it was safe. I made amazing money. I made more than my husband most of the years I worked. I got to meet new people every single day. And I got to have this amazing staff and culture of people who worked with me. So yeah, you think, oh, she's a retail store manager. That's probably why she wanted to be a coach, because she's a totally good seller, right? No, the problem is I was really good at making our goals with our team because we created culture. You know, you go to the mall and you think you're just going to buy a shirt, and you leave my store knowing that we were going to marry you. We knew everything about all these strangers, and they were just coming in an air postal or a wet seal or a limited 2 on my 12-year journey. But that's also where I wish someone would have offered me this opportunity when I had a full-time job. So fast forward, how I found Beachbody and why my life is so much better now. So last 2014, it's almost been 2 years, that's why it's so crazy. I found out Thanksgiving weekend that my store was going to close because of economic downturn. And I contributed half of our six-figure income to our family. And I prayed, don't get me wrong, I prayed for my store to close because there was a chance. However, I did not have a plan B. All I knew is that I could never quit a job. We needed both incomes. We were paying $25,000 a year in daycare for our 2 kids, and I had to make money. And I only knew how to be great to people, to love people. And so I never finished college, and I had career ADD, which is what drew me to that post that I saw Andrea post about, how she didn't know like what she was doing, but she knew she had a bigger purpose. So I lose my job. My husband tells me I technically have 6 months to a year. This is hard, to a year to figure out what I'm going to do. Whether I go back to school, but I can't just go back to school and not work, which is why I haven't finished my 4-year degree this far. I said I couldn't do all 3 or all 4, mom, wife, employee, and school. So I knew there had to be something. And I had tried a company that did at-home parties a couple years before because I have someone that's truly, like, she makes a good income with it. She's been doing it for 6 years. But the problem with that is I didn't want to go and do parties. I didn't want to take time away from my family. That was the whole point of wanting to leave when I got laid off from my full-time job, is I wanted the fun and the flexibility that I was missing. So I saw the post for Beachbody, and I was struggling with my last 10 pounds from Harper. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, I believe that this is amazing. Like, I know that this company is amazing. Like, my brother got results. I'll buy the program. And if I get good results and I love Shakeology, then I'll run this business. So that's how I got started. I lost my 12 pounds, 12 inches in the 21-day fix. And I looked amazing. It's the best I've ever felt. Naturally healthy, like feeling good. And I just started sharing my story. The problem I started with is I started sharing it when people asked me what I was doing. I would tell them that I got laid off and now I'm just kind of relaxing. You look so fabulous. Oh yeah, I'm going back to school and, just kind of hanging out. I didn't maximize that I was too afraid to tell them I was running a business because so many people are like, oh, there's that crazy Beachbody coach, or there's that crazy thing. And once I got over that fear, the first couple months of really caring what they feel like. I mean, I care what people think to a sense that I care that I have a gift that truly can help people. And it took me a couple months to get that confidence, really, like, it doesn't matter. And at that point, that was, almost a year and a half ago, I changed my ways and I was able to continue to grow my business full steam ahead. And then when January came around, I didn't have to go back to work. I haven't replaced my full-time income yet because I'm building this business. It doesn't happen overnight. But I'm also not paying $25,000 in daycare. We're happier in our marriage for the most part. It's a day-to-day. Marriage takes some time and effort. But he sees me almost 4 times more now. And I think the best thing that this actually gave me is just like being present. And like everyone said, it's really amazing when people get messages and they tell you like you're making and improving their lives. That is actually one thing that this business taught me the best. I had some hiccups from my high school and college days that I was afraid that I couldn't move forward if I didn't say or call or reach out to people and tell them I was sorry. Like if I pissed them off or if they're, because I had things hanging on me. And so it actually taught me how to reapproach and reach out and just say, I'm sorry if I offended you in the past, and we're moms now, and like, let's, and not because I want them to join my team or, join a challenge group. It's because I truly believe that they deserve to be at peace with me. So, and I think that they should, have this in their life also. So that's kind of how I got started. I'm not going back to work, which is great. And then I'm hoping this year to continue to inspire more people, that it's with Beachbody or anything, that losing a job isn't like the end all. It's your opportunity to start your own thing or do what you want and be free. So that's my story for how I got started.
I love it. Thank you so much.
I actually love that you pointed out about reaching out to people, and like, so much of this business, something I'm sorry to interrupt and like ruin the flow of things, but like all about relationship building. And I know when I first became a coach, very similar to what you said, one of the things we tell our new coaches is, to connect with people and build those relationships. And I know on our team, we call them Hey Girls. It has nothing to do with trying to get somebody to buy something or join your team. It's literally just reconnecting, because what we do when we're asking people to join our team or to join one of our challenges, we're asking them to trust us with their most vulnerable self. When somebody has a weight struggle, or even if they're thin, but they want to get toned or whatever, or they see this as a business opportunity, we're asking them to be vulnerable. We're asking them to trust us, to take their vulnerability, to trust us with their vulnerability and do something with it. And so I remember when I was first became a coach, and my coach was just like, well, reach out to some people and just reconnect with them and ask how they are. And it felt really gross and icky to me, because I was like, well, I'm doing this so that they'll buy something. Like that's yucky, And then I did it. And when you do that, you're not asking them to buy anything. You're not asking them to join your team. You're really just reconnecting. And what I got from that is that when I finally got brave enough, now I tell my girls, I'm like, get over it, like do it. You'll feel better. But I remember that feeling. And I reached out to some people who used to be really close to me, and now we talk on an almost daily basis. Did some of them end up being challengers or join my team? Yeah, some of them did, and some of them never will, and that's fine, because I got to reconnect with people that I really, really cared about. And if this business didn't tell me to, I wouldn't have. And these are people who were so important to my life, and now I have that value of their friendship again. And it just really, it's those little things that make this job so important and so meaningful. So I'm glad you pointed that out about, reconnecting. So I'm done interrupting. I'm really good at interrupting.
Well, I did. And you grow and you really, as you get older, you just realize, and that's one thing that I think makes us different as a family, especially Misfits, is that we come from all many different places, all around the country. And you truly just have a bond that you want to better yourself and your friends and family. And most people in this world do. They just are looking for that light to kind of guide them there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're afraid. I feel like they're afraid, because I was afraid once. Brooke, why did I saw you have a baby in the photo. This is my first night chatting with Brooke. Why did you become a coach? And what have you taken away from this journey so far? Because are you a new mom? Is that your first baby?
It is.
It's
yes, he's almost 4 months old. He's with Dad right now, so hopefully he'll be good for at least the remainder of the phone call. Usually he likes to hang out with Mom. But so I started coaching in October. Oh, what?
I said, because Mom has the goods.
Whoever feeds him is who's going to get the attention, so I'll take it. So no, I started in October 2013, and I was actually just a discount coach. So my husband and I had just moved to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and we lived in Germany for 3 years. And I was kind of lost. We got married at 18. It was straight out of high school. I had come from a family who, my mom was a single mom for most of my life, and she worked her butt off, all the time. She was a waitress, and she worked all the time. We never got to see each other because I was at school, and then I would come home, and she would go to work. And so our time was always really short. And so growing up, I always wanted to have that time with her, and I never felt like I really was able to get it. So, the moments that we did have, I always cherished a lot. And I had lost my dad when I was 8 years old. So it was just my mom and I and my sisters. And so that kind of set the path for me. I knew that I wanted to be a career woman. I didn't want to be a waitress like my mom was. She had me at 16, so she barely finished high school. And she didn't get to go to college. So I knew that I wanted to go to college and like better myself. And she wanted that for me as well. So that was something that she always kind of like told me, like, make sure you go to college, get a career, get a job, and like raise yourself, like raise a family, but make sure you raise a family like with an income of your own so you don't have to rely on men. And so like I wanted that for myself. And then in high school, like I met my husband. Well, I met my husband in 4th grade actually, but in high school we became boyfriend and girlfriend. And right out of high school, he joined the Army and he left. And I stayed back and I was going to school to be a nurse. And he came back from basic training and he proposed to me. And so I'm like 18 years old and I'm like, all right, so yeah, let's do this. And he was in his training and then all of a sudden he's like, hey, by the way, I got orders to Germany. We're going to announce it to everybody at our wedding. So like I'm 18 years old kind of freaking out. Like I'm going to Germany. I'm getting married. I'm 18. Like my mom's going to like freak out. I'm freaking out. And so we got married and we moved to Germany. And it was the most amazing experience. Like I wouldn't take it back for anything. And yes, we're 18 and everybody was like, oh, she's going to get pregnant. They're just going to be like the typical Army couple and they're just going to have a bunch of kids and she's not going to have a career. She's going to rely on him. And I wanted to prove them wrong. So we got to Germany and I was like looking for a college. First I got a job. I was looking for a job and I was working at like the local store as a customer service rep. And I was just trying to like make sure that I was working myself because I didn't want to sit at home and do nothing all day. And I was looking at colleges and I found an online school out there. They didn't have anything for nursing. So all of my I was like 2 or 3 classes away from my associate's degree and everything didn't transfer. So I had to start over and I started with a business degree because then I started working at a bank and they were like, hey, we'll help you pay for your degree if it's banking related. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to go that route. So I started doing business and I kind of like found this passion for banking. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like the banker lady. I'm going to have this awesome career. I'm going to like be the executive and it's just going to be so cool. And so I worked at the bank for 3 years in Germany. We travel all the time. And then we moved back from Germany and banking jobs are not as good out here. Like they don't pay you as well. You don't get as much vacation. And I wanted to have more time, so I ended up getting a job as like a sales rep at a construction company, and I hated it. I was working with men, and we all like, I don't think there's any men on the call, but like they're all like icky construction men, so nobody wants to work with them. And I remember just coming home every day just like beat down. It was a 9-to-5 job, but I was always working overtime. I never had time for the gym. I had always been a really fit person, and then I stopped going to the gym because this job was just like dragging every part of my life down. And so I told my husband one day there was this crazy Army wife I had seen on Facebook that added me, and she was posting about like all these workouts. And I was like, I totally need to join this girl. Like she has all these cool groups and I need to be a part of it. It looks so fun. And he's like, yeah, but you're not going to have time to work out. Like you won't even go to the gym. You're not going to do a workout at home. That's even harder. And so I kind of left it alone. And like, I told her, you know what, I'm not going to join. I can't do it. And then like I kept seeing her posts and I saw how happy she was. And so I just kept thinking about it. And then my husband found out he was deploying. It was his first deployment. And I was like, look, like I need something. So I came home one day from work and I was like, hey, I'm going to buy Insanity and I'm going to do this. And I was the insane person that started with Insanity. Like I don't suggest doing that. But I started with Insanity. It was awful. I came home from work and I cried every day, or I cried before work if I did my workout before work. But like I started to like feel different. And that was exciting to me. And so that was in October. And I was like I had signed up as a discount coach. That's what I was going to say. So I was a discount coach for a little bit. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to get a discount on Shakeology because this stuff's awesome. And my coach says it's going to help me. So I'm going to just keep getting the discount on it. But then I like felt different using it. So I was like, okay, I really need this discount. And I like posted a couple times on Facebook, like, hey, I'm doing this Insanity workout. And there was a couple people that would like buy from me. But I was like that coach that was just selling a random program but not really helping them. I was just like, oh, I'm making a couple dollars. That's great. And then my mom passed away on December 10th of that year, and it kind of like turned my life upside down. I mean, my mom and I were extremely close, and like that phone call was something that completely changed my life. I don't want to cry. So my husband was supposed to deploy 3 days later, and he was with me when I got the phone call. I was at work and I had met him for lunch, and he was actually with me, which was great. So we drove home, and I remember telling me I'm skipping all over, sorry. I had just started a new job at a bank because, like I said before, banking was like my passion. So a bank around, like a local bank was like, hey, we want to hire you. So I got a job with them. And I was with them for 3 days before my mom passed away. So I'm still in training. And I got home from finding out my mom had passed away, and I was like, Tim, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, my job, like, I just started. They're going to fire me. I don't have any vacation days. I can't go home. But I was my mom's oldest kid. Like, I have 2 younger sisters. We had to go home and plan her funeral. So I was like, well, you know what? Like, I have to go. I was thankful that my job didn't fire me. Like, they did let me go. It was unpaid vacation. So I was not only, like, helping pay for my mom's funeral, I was paying for a last-minute flight around Christmas time to get out there. My husband was about to deploy, and his dad was visiting. So we had all these things going on, and I felt like my whole life was just falling apart. And I had just started this new coach training because my coach said it would be good and I could make more money with it. And so I was like, okay, cool. And then I quit. Like, I was like, I'm not doing the coach training. I'm like, I need to focus on my family. And I flew home the next day, and I focused on my family. My husband, actually, his deployment got delayed, so he did get to come home. So, like, we went completely broke. Like, our savings account that we had built was gone. We had nothing. And December 20th, I flew home. December 23rd, my husband deployed. And I remember, like, sitting in the hangar with him. I don't want to cry. So I sat in the hangar with him, and I knew I had to come home to myself. Like, I had nothing. And sorry, guys. So I came home. I was driving home, and I actually pulled the truck over, and I just, like, I sat there and I said, like, what has my life come to? Like, my husband's gone, my mom's gone. Like, now I have nothing to look forward to. It's just me and my dogs. Like, I mean, what do I have? And in reality, like, I had a beautiful house, and, like, we had a roof over our heads and food in our bellies, and it wasn't that bad, but, like, in that moment it was. And I really didn't want to cry, guys. Make me laugh. Do your duck face. Some more wine. Yeah, and I need some more wine. No, so I pulled over.
That's a good husband right there.
I pulled over in the truck, and I just told myself, like, I need something different. I need to do something that's going to change my life. And I had this team of coaches who had put together a fund for me. And they, like, helped me, like, they sent my sister's Christmas presents. And it was my team of coaches that I had just joined. And, like, that was life-changing for me. Like, to have these people that I just met that were part of this team that I didn't really know, and they were sending my family Christmas gifts, like, that was amazing. And that was the community that I knew I needed, because I didn't want to, like, go to my family and say, like, hey, guys, I'm going through a really hard time, because obviously my family is going through the same thing. So I had this community, and I went to my team page, and they all supported me and messaged me and made sure I was okay. And I had the local coaches visiting me, and it was just, like, it was something that was just truly eye-opening for me. And the next day, it was Christmas Eve. I tore down all my Christmas decorations. Like, Christmas was over. I was not doing Christmas. And I sat down that night, and I caught up on the coach training, and I said, you know what? Coach training is going down. Like, I'm going to do this coaching. I'm going to see what it can do, because I know I've seen my coach talk about how it changed her life. Like, I want to change my life. And I started coaching, and since that day, I just started posting how I was overcoming things, how I was, like, growing as a person, how I was overcoming all these struggles. And I just started sharing my journey. And all of these people just started messaging me, just like everybody else was talking about earlier, and telling me how much I was helping them through their struggles. And I was just this girl that was so, like, lost, but I was just sharing how I was getting through my journey, and everybody loved it. And I just kept doing it, and my life was changed. And that was what coaching was. I knew I was all in at that moment. 6 months later, I quit my full-time job. Within that 6 months, unfortunately, my husband's brother had also passed away, so he came home from deployment. We flew home to California for the second funeral. He flew back to Afghanistan. I came home again, like, kind of lost myself a little bit, but I just kept going as much as I could. And then I quit my job in July of 2014. He came home in September 2014, and, like, my whole world was just amazing. Everything was perfect. We were happy as can be. Like, we were stronger from getting through everything, and just life was great. And I ended up getting pregnant right away. And I had a miscarriage. I was 5 weeks. We were on a cruise, and I lost our baby. And I didn't know that I was pregnant. And I went to the doctor because I was just bleeding. And the doctor told me, and it was just another moment where I was like, come on, like, what's going on, God? Why are you doing this? And I just, like, in that year, I just felt like everything was just coming down at one time. And we just kept, like, we kept trying to go forward and kept trying to go forward. And November, which is the next month, my husband got a phone call that his dad passed away. And then a couple hours later, I got a phone call that my aunt passed away. And so like everything just came down in the same year that I was trying to build this amazing business. Like everything just kept happening. But what was amazing is I had this team that kept supporting me no matter what. And that, I mean, I can't explain to you guys enough how amazing that felt, because you have all of your family going through the same things you're going through. And you always want to be the strong person, the one that's putting your shoulders up like, yeah, we can do this. And you're always that strong face in front of them, but you go home and you cry at night by yourself. And I had this team that was there to cry with me. And that's what I needed. And that's what this opportunity can do for you. Is when you have those hard moments and you're trying to push through and you feel like you can't do it anymore, they're there for you. Like your team is your family, and there's nothing else that is stronger than the people that are behind you every step of the way in your journey. So a month later, we found out we were having our baby, and I had a healthy pregnancy, and here I am, and my business is still flourishing, and I have this amazing team that I'm building and this amazing team that I'm a part of, and it's just been a life-changing experience. And if you've ever felt like you're going through a hard time in your life and you have nobody, like this opportunity will make you feel like you have everybody right behind you, no matter what. Sorry for crying.
Why are you sorry? I love your story. I love your story. It's so much perseverance and so much strength. And you dedicated that at that time that you were going to make this and make it work. And you were steadfast in that, and you continue to be. I love that. And I love Brian. Brian's her baby. I love Brian. And, that's an amazing story. Don't be sorry for crying. Your reason for crying was way better than mine. But it's true. It is true. Like this becomes a family. And if you guys notice, there's a theme kind of running throughout all of these stories. And this was not intentional. The only thing that we planned before getting on this call with you guys was what order we were going to talk in. That is all we talked. That's all we shared. I know Lorelei's story. I know all these girls' stories individually, but I haven't heard the extent of their stories. I knew parts of Brooke's story, but I didn't know the full story. And so we didn't plan what we were going to say, but I think you can see that there's a common theme between everybody's stories. And it's none of us talked about the sales. None of us talked about, because that's not what this is about. This really is about community, and it's about changing lives. And we all just kind of shared with you how our lives were changed through this. I think a great thing to point out about Brooke is that about Brooke and I is we're both local coaches. We're not on the same team, but I found her shortly after I moved here, and we have we're building this amazing friendship, and there's no competition between us. So it's not just within your team; it's within Beachbody as a whole. It was you're a Beachbody coach, I'm a Beachbody coach. Oh my gosh, we instantly have a million things in common, because I know just by the fact of where she's at with her business, I know her heart, and her heart makes me want to know her. We've started a local coach page together. So any coaches that are local to us that want to join our Facebook page, we join it. She just had a party on Friday for all of her local coaches and invited all Beachbody local coaches to join their ugly sweater party that they had last Friday. I couldn't go because my husband's in doing crazy training, but so it's a huge community. It's not just your direct team. It's a Beachbody wide community. We started a fit club together. We actually happen to go to the same church also. And we started a fit club. She set it all up for our local church, and so we meet every Monday. And we invite local people to just come check out different Beachbody workouts. And it's an amazing thing to be a part of. And that's why I thought it was so important to, have Brooke and her people on the call too, because it's not just the people on your direct team. It's Beachbody wide that this is an amazing experience, it's company wide that has these same core beliefs. So, we're going to open it up to questions if any of you guys have any questions soon, but obviously I know a huge question for everybody is, how do we get started? And so I'm going to answer that for you guys real quick. Lorelei talked a little bit about, being a product of the product. So obviously you can't recommend something and you can't sell something if you don't know what it is, so what's, if you go to a friend and you say oh, there's this really cool restaurant that I heard of, you should go try it. Is that going to be as impactful as if you say, I went to this new restaurant, you should try it? So there's a big difference in just saying do something, or I've done it, you should do it too, or I'm doing it, do you want to join me? So what we ask of new coaches is we ask that you get signed up with a challenge pack. And a challenge pack is, oh yeah, go ahead and start if you want to type your questions and we'll answer them. Well, I guess we're kind of a smaller group tonight, so they could just ask them too. Either way, we'll get to that. But anyways, so we ask that you get started with a challenge pack. You heard some, especially Brooke talked about Shakeology and how it made her feel, how good it made her feel. And all of us coaches, we're pretty adamant about our Shakeology. If you don't know much about Shakeology, I'll just touch on it a little bit. It's not like a protein shake. It's not like going to GNC and buying some like chocolate protein shake. It's so much more than that. It's it's a superfood dense, it's like a multivitamin meets a protein shake meets a probiotic meets a prebiotic. It's just like everything good that you want to give your body. And the way I describe it is I always say that it helps your body be at its ultimate level, its optimum level for the results that you want. So if you want to build muscle, it's going to help you do that because it helps level out everything in your body so that it responds to the additional things that you're doing. So if you want to build muscle, it's going to help you build muscle because it's going to get your body to that right, plateau of accepting what you're doing. If you want to lose weight, it's going to help get you, it stabilizes your body so that when you're trying to lose weight that you're burning the fats instead of muscles, and so your body has the nutrients that it needs to get those results. Anyways, so challenge pack is your choice of program plus a month's supply of Shakeology. And you can talk with the person who invited you here about which program will be best for you. They start at $140 and they work their way up. It breaks down to about $7 a day. When I have new coaches joining my team, the program that I recommend most is usually 21 Day Fix. It's kind of an overall great program. You have a different workout every single day. And it ranges from cardio to total body to upper fix, lower fix, and then you have active recovery with Pilates and yoga, and so it's just a good overall workout. And then you have portion control containers, so it's going to teach you how to eat clean and eat healthy. I thought that I was eating clean before I started 21 Day Fix because, like I said, I was doing T25. I was not. Portion control is what it really teaches you. No matter how healthy you eat, overeating and undereating is a big issue. And so when you are eating correctly, you really do get that optimization with the workouts as well. So, and it's a shorter program. It's 21 days. You can get amazing results in 21 days when you're working out every single day and you're eating right. Another thing is it's one of our most popular programs. People see it on TV. They've heard about it. Their friends have done it. Their relatives might have done it. And so now this is the part I'm going to talk about sales, whatever. It's an easy sell in that it's easy to get people to join you. It's easy to say I'm doing 21 Day Fix because I'd say 60% of people have heard of it that I speak to. 60% of the people that I speak to about it have already heard of it. So inviting people to join something that they've already heard of or that they know that somebody that's done it is great. So that's what I recommend. We also have a brand new program that just came out that's called Hammer and Chisel, and I can't speak highly enough about it. It's a little more advanced because it does use weights. Anytime we have a weight training program, it is considered a little bit more advanced, but talk to your coach about that too because it is on special this month, and I'm loving it, you guys. Seriously, it is the program I've been waiting for. It's a combination of a couple of our different programs, and I adore it. So what do you get with your purchase? You get everything, the world, yay. So you get obviously the mentorship of the coach that you signed up with, and everybody involved in this call, all these teams, we all have training that's going to make you successful. I wouldn't do a call like this with just anybody. If you're on this call, the person who invited you onto this call is somebody that we all trust. We wouldn't be on here with people we didn't trust. So I know that whoever invited you here, you're in good hands. You're going to have mentorship. You're going to have somebody who's going to find their joy in finding your success. I know me personally, I set some goals for my new coaches. My goals are that in their first month, they earn their initial investment back. So you've recouped that. You have started your own personal fitness journey so that you can share those results so that you can invite people to join you because your network is going to care about you. They're going to want to know what you did, what worked for you. And then another one, which again doesn't really make a lot of sense to you guys just yet, but is to help you rank advance to your first rank of Emerald, because after you hit Emerald, you qualify for what we call team cycle bonuses, and that's where you can really start your earning potential. So that is how you get started. There is also there is a $15.96. Is that right, ladies? $15.96. Sound about right? Okay. There's a $15.96 monthly coaching fee. And what that covers is it covers your website costs. It covers customer service. It covers your coach relations, which is basically customer service for us coaches. So if you have any problems with any of your customers' orders going through, or your orders or anything like that, they're there to help you, right away. And like I said, your websites and stuff. If you are military or you're a military spouse, then that is actually waived. And so you actually have no monthly fees. Something, as I got into this, I mentioned earlier when I was speaking about what I do or how I got started. You guys, I seriously just totally blanked. I just totally blanked on what I was going to say.
Military spouses, you were talking about the fees.
Yes, I was talking about that, and I totally moved on to something else and didn't give myself a keyword to like transition into.
And you got started. But if I can make something to say too, like
go for it. I'm gonna remember. What do
you think with that business fee? Like if you're thinking about coaching, like that was what actually I was like most nervous about. I was like, how can I build a business for that low fee? Because when I had thought about that, when I tried the other company years ago, I mean, I had to buy a kit of like $700. Like, so for me, I was like, that's crazy. And I don't have to store anything. And to be honest, I can give extra customer service, but if there's a problem, there's a 24/7 chat for coaches that I can get on at any time and help someone assist with their problem or issue if there is one. I would say in the 20 months I've been coaching, there's maybe been 2. One was weather and one was just a fluke. But that being said, like that fee covers all of that. And it is growing, which means those resources are just getting even better and bigger. That's what I think is just mind blowing. So I'm not military. I do pay the monthly fee. My husband's a discount coach and he pays the monthly fee. So I think for $30 a month, like the fact that I'm getting to still stay on with the kids and build this business is like, I'm ripping them off, to be honest.
It's true. And that was actually, I'm glad that you kind of triggered what I was going to say. I said in my introduction that, I'm like, I don't sell things. I'm not that person. I don't do this kind of business. And as I've become a coach and I've talked to people in other companies, one thing that stands out about Beachbody to me after I learned these other things is that we don't get punished for what we don't do in this business. We get rewarded for what we do. An example, I'm not going to bash any other companies, but there are companies where you have to have a minimum to even get paid. If you don't sell this certain amount, then you have to buy that certain amount in product or else you won't even get paid for the things that you did do. Beachbody is not like that at all. You come in here, you're not obligated to continue to purchase anything. Of course, we want you to be a product of the product, so we want you to be on Shakeology and all that stuff, but you're not penalized, for anything. Like you don't get penalized because you didn't sell $200 worth of products a month or whatever. And there's other companies that I found out that they do that, and that's crazy. So like Mindy said, $30 a month for her and her husband to both be coaches, like that's crazy. Because if you with the proper training that we have and with the mentorship and the team leading that we have, like you should make that and then some. And then plenty, So the monthly coaching fees are the only things that you're obligated to. And you can talk to the person who brought you here more about that. But yeah, what am I leaving out, you guys?
There's one other thing is that there's no contract. It's not something that you're locked into at any time. And that's one of the reasons that Andrea was so easily able to talk to me is because I knew I could bail if I needed to. 2 years later, I'm still here. But I loved that there were no minimums, because sales minimums, I do not function well when I'm pushing for a number. And Jenni knows this. I can't, like once numbers are in play or like financial commitments, I can't do it. But when I focus on the purpose that we're here, when I focus on helping other people and making that difference, that is where, like I like to say, it's my zone of genius. That's where I'm really excited to make a difference. So does that help at all?
Yes. Catherine just asked a really good question, and I was actually hoping somebody would ask a question like this. She said, I still don't understand how you get clients initially. I don't have a ton of Facebook contacts. Well, first of all, obviously, initially, what you would do is, share what you're doing, share what's working with you, and hopefully people see it and they want to join you. Now, that being said, I'll be honest, sometimes your network isn't always responsive. So we actually have training. I make this joke all the time. Sorry for all of you that have already heard it. There's the whole, there's an app for that, so we always joke, we're like, oh, there's a training for that, and if there's not one, I'll make you one in 5 minutes. So we have trainings for everything. One of my favorite trainings that I just did is a training about how to grow your network organically and genuinely. There's some companies where they will tell you, again, I'm not going to talk, I talk about what we do, not really about what other people do, because I think what we do is so amazing. But they'll have you go do things like click and just add a bunch of friends, just go somewhere and just add, and that's not what we do. We have trainings on how to find the people that you want to target. Brooke talked about the fact that she was always fit and she loved working out. And, so her client might be a little bit different than Lorelei's client, that might be different than mine or Mindy's or Christine's, we all are targeting different people. So we have ways of helping find those people that would be interested in what you're doing. And it's very genuine. It's about the relationship building like we talked about before. So you're not going to be alone and just thrown out there. See? Haley says Brooke found her. And you're not just gonna be thrown out there and be like, here, go make this work with what you currently have. Because even the people who start with the biggest networks, at some point, it's gonna dry up. I use the example, I put it on a scale of 100. Say you have 100 people and you start this business. You're gonna have about 20, out of 100. So 20, they'll be like, yeah, I'll try that. I'll do that. I'll do that with you. I'll go ahead and do that with you. And then you have another 20 who are like, no, never gonna do it. No, get away from me. Maybe I'll block you or unfriend you. Just kidding. But so you have your 20 who are yeses and you have your 20s who are no, never, ever, ever, ever. So then you have your 60 in the middle. So what are you gonna do with your 60 in the middle? Your 60 in the middle, you're gonna continue to share your story. You're going to continue to share your journey. You continue to invite and let them know that you have a challenge group coming up or that you have a coaching opportunity, whatever, in a not salesy way. We always say sharing, not selling. So you're going to do that. And then, but at some point, that 100 people, those 60 in the middle of that 100 are going to decide which end they're going to be on. They're going to be like, all right, I see you. I see what you're doing. I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and give this a chance. You've stuck with it for a while. I'm going to give it a chance. And you have another couple that might, join those no's and we don't care about them, but whatever. So what we obviously have to continue to do is filter back people in the middle. So a big thing that we do talk about in the training is how to add people back to that middle pool so that you have new people, new eyes on you, new things. And we talk about doing that from, day one, because at some point your current network is going to make that decision. And so we want to make sure that you have that continually adding to your network in a genuine way, not in a salesy way, not to where they go to your page and be like, I don't want to accept her friend request because she's just going to try and sell me something. We're not those people. So we've got a training for that is basically the answer.
Oh, go ahead, Mindy.
Oh, I was going to tell her too, if you have that fear, I have a coach that she's doing a good job. Sorry, my husband's texting me. And this is where you squirrel. But she is, had so many corporate people. She did not go back to work after maternity leave. And so she only had 112 friends on her Facebook. So she did start the business page, but she also really is focusing on Instagram. And there's a lot of big coaches that have been doing this and they started with the same thing, no friends, small towns, because you just kind of can choose. We have the trainings. But again, it's just about adding value to others and they'll follow you. So what I tell coaches is find 5 things that people love about you and just share that and people will come to you. And it really is just about inviting them to following your life. So I don't know if that helps too, but the free groups, that's how I went from 260 to 1,000 in the 20 months I've been coaching.
Yeah, and you mentioned the free groups briefly there, but what we like to do is we like to provide a value to the people that follow us, that are added to our network and things like that. We like to add value in the most random ways, guys. Jenni and I just hosted a random acts of kindness group, which is actually looking like it's going to be probably a permanent group. But so we were all giving ideas for different random acts of kindness you could do. And then, normally you do this random acts of kindness, but you don't want to share it on Facebook because then it looks like you did it for the visibility. So it provides a place that people can go share that. We do organization groups. We do clean eating groups, crock pot groups. Jenni's even hosting one for Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah, I have an Elf on the Shelf group, and it was just basically a way for me to like make new friends. And especially, like I said, I'm got here in July, but I still consider myself pretty new to the town. The only friends I really have are other Beachbody coaches, and I'm totally okay with that because Beachbody coaches are amazing. But, it's just a way to go to my different groups that I'm in and just like kind of make friends, make Facebook friends. And I never, obviously in an Elf on the Shelf group, when's it going to come up for me to talk about coaching? It's not. Like, it's literally just about, you're doing Elf on the Shelf, so am I. Let's have really awesome ideas and let's just share them on there, But through the group, I actually met a girl, and she was going to be on the call with us tonight, but she's going to watch the recording. But our intentions when we do those groups are to build the friendships and build the relationships. And if the coaching comes or the client or them as a challenger comes, then so be it. I'm not sitting there and saying, I'm going to invite these people to Elf on the Shelf group because I want them to be coaches. It's not that. It really is genuine, and it's just a way to continue to add your network. So you have people, and then they're making that decision if they want to join or not. But yeah, my Elf on the Shelf group it's pretty fun. And the girl that I invited to this that was going to be on here, oh my gosh, you guys should see her absurd stuff. She'll like write me and she'll say, can I post this in your group? Because it's like off the wall because her kids are a little bit older. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, yes. If they get offended, then that's on them. She's hilarious. She's really funny. But yeah, so you'll find those people because that's how you find the people. That's how you connect with people. Something I'm also really passionate about is, taking the ick factor out. I use the restaurant analogy when I was talking about how we get started and stuff, but the other restaurant analogy, I used to work in a restaurant for like ever. So I always come back to restaurant analogies, but they're with recommending things. Some people have a problem when you're doing something like this where you're going to benefit from it. And so people will have a struggle where they'll say like, hey, do you want to join this or do you want to do this with me? And they struggle, but say like you were just somebody doing 21 Day Fix and you weren't a coach. You were doing 21 Day Fix and you're getting amazing results. Wouldn't you tell your sister, your friends, your cousins about it and be like, oh my gosh, I lost 15 pounds in 3 weeks. Like, this is crazy. Like, I know you've been talking about getting on a fitness journey. Like, you should do this. Like, how is that different than when you're going to benefit from it? It shouldn't be, because if you believe in the product and then you're sharing it either way. So in this sense, you get a little kickback and you get to build a business out of it. So that's something that I always like to really focus on. I'm super passionate about like removing that ick factor, removing those kind of blocks that are in the way. So.
Jenni, too, we didn't mention how Beachbody does give you free leads. So a lot of times people ask me, hey, can I order this program on Amazon or should I order it through you? And the thing is, usually like right now it's free shipping on a lot of things and different stuff, but the difference is Amazon is Beachbody. So we get these things called free customers. So even if they're not ordering something, let's say they're just doing the free 30-day trial, you get free customer leads for being a coach and hitting like and being an Emerald rank. There's also these cool things that I was like sold. This is one of my things that sold me is when you hit Success Club, which you'll learn about. It's just different ways to earn opportunities. But when you hit Success Club 10, you get paid commission customers. So someone orders something on the TV and you not only gain this person to help them on their journey, but you get their automatic commission from what they ordered online. And now we're in the US and Canada, so it's gotten even bigger. But that was what I was like, working in retail for 12 years. I was never commission retail, only, non-commission, just store bottom line making goals. But being told that I was just going to be rewarded with free commission from customers that just ordered, like that was insane. So that's also where we get people too. And two of my coaches have free leads that turned into coaches on their team just from reaching out and just being a partner and just helping them on their journey.
Yeah, I love that. That's a very good point. So does anybody else have any questions for us about coaching specifically? I've got something else, one more thing to kind of tell you guys, but before that, I want to see if anybody else had any questions before we move on to that. You can unmute yourself and ask them, or you can ask them in the chat.
While we're waiting on questions, I just wanted to say I love what Brooke said about having a community of like a family around you. And this is one of the things that blew my mind about coaching the most is I was so used to viewing other women as people of judgment, right? And so I never realized that when you had a huge group of people together, especially women, that it could be a positive and uplifting experience. So we have a few of us on the call that all met up for a retreat in Destin. We have Mindy and Jenny, and we even have Christine over there. Wave hi, Christine. So, and Jen Rivera was on for a little bit. So 24 of us met up in a house in Destin, Florida, and we shared, 4 days?
We had never met before.
Never met. We shared like 4 days together. And guys, I felt myself like tearing up a few times through the day because the conversations were not like little digs or spiteful or, oh, you do that. They were, oh my gosh, I love your posts. You inspire me so much. Or you are so beautiful. Or I love how you do this. It just encourages me. You know, every conversation, you could just sit there like a fly on the wall and listen to everyone just shower everyone with love. Christine, I noticed you unmuted yourself, but I remember when you had your hair and makeup done, I walked in the house and I saw you and I was like,
I was actually going to post this on her page today because I have some pictures from the retreat on my phone still, and I cannot delete them. And I have this picture of her and I that I am obsessed with. I'm obsessed with this picture of us.
oh my gosh, so gorgeous.
I love
But not a single sideways look, you know, like I am not a girl person. Like I always thought, like I always had guy friends, you know, and I didn't realize how like powerful girlfriends can be and how, so as I take over your call, but how supportive like women, when we, how powerful we can be when we like link arms. And the fact that we spent this like 4-day retreat with each other, most of us hadn't met before, and not a single sideways look. There was no negativity. No, it was just like, it was the most, I don't know, in all honesty, in my 40 years on this earth, it was probably the thing that blew my mind the most. That many women in a house and have so much positivity and like uplifting and friendship. And we may live all over the country. We come from so many different walks of life, so many different backgrounds. And I mean, we have those 24 women, we have each other's back.
Yeah.
I
agree.
We would do anything for each other.
Yeah, when we were driving back, because I actually, I live, well, 3 of us, myself, Brooke, and Haley, we all live just outside of Nashville. And so some of the flights down to Florida, because it wasn't like big city Florida, it was Destin, Florida, like it's a small airport. So it gets kind of expensive to fly from some places. So I told the girls, I said, fly into Nashville if it's cheaper and we'll all road trip down there. So I had 4 girls and myself in the car. And on the way back, I think it was my friend Mo that made the point. She said, think back on your life before coaching. And she said, picture 24 women in your life. What would it have been like to have any of those 24 women in your life, whether they were really good friends or acquaintances, in a house together for 4 days? And I was driving, and we all were just like, whoa. Like, I was trying to name 24 people in my head. I was like, I don't have 24 friends that get along because so-and-so, it might be fighting with so-and-so. I think before coaching, I'm like, so-and-so might be fighting with so-and-so. And then I had my like party friends, because if you know anything about me and my story, like I was a total party girl, like not like that cool. I thought I was cool, but I wasn't in retrospect. But anyways, so I had my party friends, and then I had my school friends, and then I had my waitressing friends, and like it was kind of different social groups. And like if they were all together, like this one would probably hate that one, and then even within this group, that one hated that one. So it's just another way to show what that sense of community was. And it's the same thing like I said about me and Brooke. Like I met her and I knew that she was a Beachbody coach, and I knew automatically, you know, she wasn't like, you know, I knew automatically, I knew her heart. Once I talked to her about her passion for this business, like I knew her heart, and I was like, she's somebody I want to know, you know, because I know if you're in this business and you've been doing it and you believe in it the way I knew she did, it's like automatically you just have that bond where you just know that that person is a good person. And I'm not saying we go into this as the best person when we start, but I will tell you 100% I'm a better person now than I was a year and a half ago when I started this. And I'm a better person now than I was 5 years ago before any of my personal internal struggles. And that is huge for me. So anyways, we've been rambling on and on and on and on, and we've kept you guys for an hour and a half, and we appreciate you. Like I said in the beginning, we want to honor your time, and I'm so sorry. I think all of us that are coaches already can talk about this all day long. So we do want to give you guys a little bit of this. We want to sweeten the pot a little bit, as if this isn't already an amazing opportunity. Because we value you guys being on now and those who are watching the recording, we do want to give you guys a little prize incentive, just a little thank you for being on, and a thank you if you decide to start coaching. So anybody who signs up between now and midnight, whatever your time is tomorrow, we are going to do a raffle, and we've got some amazing prizes for you. We are going to gift you with, we have a program, a dance program called Cize, and we have a bonus DVD workout, and we're going to gift you with that. We are going to gift you, oh my gosh, I have the other one. Oh my gosh, you guys just disappeared on my screen. There we go. Okay. And we're going to gift you with, hold on, give me 1 second. 1 second. I just lost the other one. Oh, yes. FIXATE. Okay, we have a FIXATE cookbook. I talked about 21 Day Fix, and I talked about Hammer and Chisel. The FIXATE cookbook is amazing. It's like over 100 recipes of 21 Day Fix approved and a Hammer and Chisel, and most of our newer programs approved. They all kind of follow the same guidelines. And it's written by Autumn Calabrese, which is our 21 Day Fix creator, and she's also the chisel in Hammer and Chisel. So that you'll get that. And then also lastly is something that I'm super passionate about, because I'm not an organized person. Brooke is. She's actually going to be speaking to my team for me about organization, because she said that that's one of her strong suits. So I can't wait for that call. I'm like ready with my notepad already. But we're going to gift you with your choice of a 2016 day planner. And what it is, it's very similar to a passion planner. And you can set your goals for the month on it, and you can write out your month. And then it has a day-to-day with your hourly breakdown. And this is something that I bought this same planner last year, and I didn't use it because I wasn't like a paper and pen person. I didn't think I was. Now I am, and I use it all the time. I've already bought mine for next year. So we really want to set you guys up for a successful coaching business, and teach you how to use that planner and how to like goal set, as well as scheduling your day, because letting this business consume your time, whether you work outside of the home currently or you're a stay-at-home mom, is never a good thing. So penciling in time for like little things, like I just started this about 2 months ago. I literally have my schedule penciled in for like my playtime with my kids and when I'm working, because I found myself doing things like my kids are here and I'm on my phone messaging people. And I'm like, how am I being a good mom right now? So now I have specific time that is kids only, phone away. And it's so funny because I'm actually vocal about it. I'll say, I didn't realize that I started saying it. I'm like, oh, it's whatever. I'm like, mommy puts her phone away. And so now my son, he's 4. And so when it is time, mommy's allowed to be on her phone. He says, mommy, put a phone away. I'm like, all right, you win. But, you know, we want you to be successful in all facets of your life. And we want this to be an extension of your happiness. We don't want this to, you know, take over. So having that scheduled planner is going to be like, I wish that I would have paid attention to my own self last year when I bought it. But this year I'm super excited and I've been implementing it and it's been working great. I have to schedule in time for my chores because I hate cleaning my house. Brooke loves it. I keep telling her to come clean mine, but whatever. I saw she did a dance video, like herself dancing and cleaning. And I was just like, do you want to come clean my house? I'll put on music for you so you can dance. But yeah, so we'd love to offer that prize bundle to anybody who signs up between now and midnight tomorrow.
One lucky recipient.
Yes, one lucky recipient. We'll put you guys in a little raffle. So I don't know, maybe the ones on the call tonight, if you guys end up signing up, maybe you'll get an extra entry. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the other ones about that. I'm just saying.
I vote yes, but whatever.
I don't know. I vote yes if you're on the call tonight live and you happen to sign up by tomorrow, maybe you'll get 2 entries. But
what I love about it is that Mindy's sending the Cize DVD, you're sending the journal, and I'm sending the FIXATE. So whoever wins get 3 packages in the mail. And I don't know about you, but that like makes me so excited.
I love mail.
Oh, and can I sweeten your pot for you?
Oh, with you?
Okay. Yeah, I will. So I'm a jeweler, so I will throw in a pair of earrings to whoever wins as well.
Oh,
They can pick,
amazing.
so,
Right?
Wait a second. I've never been offered jewelry from Christine.
you're not on my team. I
You
team
guys, she's
all the time.
No.
She's an amazing jeweler, you guys.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
So I will throw in a pair of earrings, and they can even pick the color scheme.
Wow,
we
that is
love you.
amazingly generous. Holy cow, you're amazing, Christine. I love you.
Oh, thank you.
But
that is team love right there. Thank you.
See, that's what happens. Anybody has any last minute things, or any of you girls who are hopping on with us have any questions, any more questions for us, unmute yourselves and let us go ahead and ask them. Is that Honey Badger?
Yes, and she just broke my necklace. I was like, you need a necklace from
Looks like you need a jeweler close by to repair it.
it's not a good piece. It was not a nice. It's a necklace that gets compliments, but it's very cheap.
You just see some pliers and a little.
Oh, you got both of them climbing on you right now.
Hey, Honey Badger.
Say hi, Honey Badger. Say hi.
Honey Badger, she is a team mascot, right?
Yes.
And somebody's new haircut looks really
Team
great.
Lauren's going to join Team Honey Badger.
I love it.
Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on. If you have any questions, let us know. Get in touch with the coach who invited you here if you feel like this is the opportunity for you. Thank you for allowing us to share our passion with you and be silly with you guys and just open up and just be ourselves. And special thanks to my co-host this evening, Lorelei and Brooke and Mindy. Thank you guys so much for sharing your story. Christine, thank you for your generous offer for the earrings, and everybody else, thank you so much for hopping on. We really appreciate it. I think I can say for all of us, like, our favorite thing is to share this passion. Just want to close and say that that same quote that I said in the beginning, this business really is a gift and it's meant to be given away. And that's what we're doing right now with you guys today. We're sharing that with you guys. And hopefully we will see you guys all on a team soon near us. And, you know, like Haley, if you sign up with Brooke, we'll see you at a Super Saturday. Well, I'll see you at Fit Club anyway. So, you know, whatever. Either way. But everyone else, hopefully we'll see you guys on the flip side. And you guys will be doing one of these calls with us as a coach sooner than later. That'd be awesome. So if you guys want to say goodbyes, we won't keep you guys any longer. Thank you so much for giving us almost 2 hours of your night. We really, really do appreciate that. If you think of any questions after this, just like I said, reach out to the coach that invited you here. And thank you guys so much for being here.